And after the book was published, producers in Hollywood contacted me about making a movie. And as of today, we're set to hopefully to start filming next month on a movie which is going to be entitled Bosco, named after my nickname. Hey everybody, my name is Quawntay Adams, also known as Bosco. Today I'm going to share a little bit of my story, help you understand why some people find that it is an interesting and inspiring story. I grew up in the streets of Compton and other parts of South Los Angeles. Started selling drugs at a young age, ran the streets, did all the things that most kids in my environment did. At the age of 13, I dropped out of school. Spent most, if not nearly all of my teenage years in the California Youth Authority and California Department of Corrections. Later on, in January 2004, I was arrested for attempting to possess marijuana and sentenced to 35 years in federal prison. At the time of my arrest, I learned that my only child, who is now a 16-year-old girl, was conceived 2 weeks earlier. It ate me up. I never imagined that I would bring a child into this world and not be able to provide or be a father to her. And just the mere idea of being a deadbeat daddy or a loser was destroying me. I had to do something about it. So one day, while sitting in my cell, staring out the window, I decided to escape. I smuggled in hacksaw blades, cut the bars out the window, and was planning on leaving that night, and another prisoner snitched on me. He caught me, placed me in solitary confinement, and pretty much it was supposed to be over. But while in solitary confinement, I tried to escape again. This time, I managed to get up into the attic of the jail, kicked the vent out, stuck my head out, was finna crawl out, and all of a sudden I seen flashlights shining on the vent. Looked out and saw a bunch of cops snooping around down below. Later I learned that when I kicked the vent out, a cop was standing out front smoking a cigarette. He heard the crash, walked around to the side of the building to investigate it, looked up, saw the slats of the louver dangling, called for backup, came in, inspected, looked around, found little cuts in the hole in my ceiling, and that was it for me. It was my second time trying to escape and got caught. After that, I was taken out of that cell, placed inside of another cell at a more secure facility. This was a high-tech, sort of like maximum security detention center. And inside the cell, there was a camera that monitored me 24 hours a day. I was locked in that cell, wasn't allowed to come out for anything. Only time I ever came out of that cell was to shower 3 times a week for 10 minutes at a time. Surprisingly, to most of them, I managed to mastermind an escape that has gone down in history. I executed the escape and actually got away. This was the first time that a prisoner had ever escaped from a cell where he was monitored by a camera 24 hours a day. This was 10 years or 11 years before El Chapo's brazen escape. So the media went crazy. They just couldn't understand how somebody in a cell being monitored 24 hours a day could pull off such an escape. And it was an ingenious one that I put a lot of thought into. And it was something that kind of like catapulted me into the eyes of the media. And after that, people just started reaching out to me, trying to make, write newspaper articles, magazine articles, and a bunch of other things. At the time, no, I didn't want to talk to anybody. I was going by a code to where I believed that gangsters didn't talk to the cameras. Said gangsters was supposed to put their face before the world so other people could see it. That's kind of like the type of twisted state of mind that I was in. And so I didn't want to talk to nobody. I refused to talk. Then one day, some producers in Europe called the story, which they could do legally. So when they said that, I said, if they gonna get paid off my story without me, I might as well get on board and get paid too. So I signed the contract, let them make a documentary. In 2010, the documentary came out. It was entitled Breakout. They showed it all around the world. People were inspired and fascinated. It was like I started receiving like tons of mail and getting messages from people all over the world. People from Europe, Africa, Asia, all type of people were just sending letters and asking me questions about my life and my background. And, they were inspired by the fact that some 8th grade dropout from the streets of Compton could actually be intelligent or ingenious enough to pull off such an escape. So after that, I decided to write a book. It's called Chasin Freedom. I wrote the book giving people a little more details about my life story so they can, really understand where I come from and what I actually have gone through. And after the book was published, producers in Hollywood contacted me about making a movie. And as of today, we're set to hopefully to start filming next month on a movie which is going to be entitled Bosco, named after my nickname. So it's a lot of good things that has been happening with my story that really, considering what I've gone through and where I come from, you can say that it's very inspiring because I'm really not supposed to be here today, and I'm definitely not supposed to be somebody who Hollywood is actually making a movie about, but that is the case. And a lot of that can be attributed to the fact that, I don't give up. I've always had like an ambitious heart, always been determined. When I want something, I go after it. And, my experience in federal custody and, on the verge of losing the rest of my life to a prison cell and having a child brought into this world, it kind of like gave me a different meaning and purpose in life. And with that, I decided to go after my dreams by any means necessary, and that spirit right there is what pretty much has propelled everything that's happening for me now. And that is one of the reasons why I'm here today talking to you guys on the camera. And one of the reasons why a lot of people like to refer to me as a black or urban superhero. And that goes into another reason why I'm here today, is because I was released 15 to 19 years earlier than I was supposed to be released. I fired all of my lawyers, represented myself, and got myself out of prison. And that came on the heels after getting other people out of prison. And I'm not supposed to be able to do that either. 13-year-old dropout is not supposed to be able to fire attorneys and get himself out of prison. And that's something that I did. And, so it's a lot of, great things that are happening in my life. And a lot of it is based on that one thing, and that's being determined, So while some people say that I'm a superhero, I like to just say that I'm a determined man, And one thing for sure is that when you're determined and you want something bad enough, you'll figure it out. But anyway, that's all I want to give you guys right now. Hopefully you guys tune in, follow me on Instagram, follow me on YouTube, Facebook, and all my other social media pages. Visit my website, QuawntayBoscoAdams.com, also ChasinFreedum.com, and my publishing company at JailhousePublishing.com. If you guys have any questions, would like to know anything, just feel free to hit me up. And hopefully next time I get at y'all, I'll be a little more relaxed and better able to communicate to a device that is not communicating back to me. So just bear with me, and in due time, I'm going to have it together. Thanks, everybody. One love.